Okay, we're rolling.
Thanks. My name is Sung Lee, and I'm trained as a physician and also as a clinical researcher. And I work with a non-invasive technology that helps to balance the brain waves in the left and right hemispheres. And I have known Tom Bird for many years, probably 7 or 8 years, as we both live in Sedona. And over that time, on more than one occasion, he suggested to me, "Oh, Sung, you should check out my workshop. You might, have some value from writing your book in a very short time." And I had always appreciated that suggestion, but for whatever reason, the timing didn't seem right, and wasn't the right content kind of flowing through my head at a given moment, and so on and so forth. And at the same time, there were also various people in my life who suggested to me, "Oh, Sung, you should write something because what you're doing with the brain is a little different, and your take on things is a little bit, again, different." And they thought people could benefit from that. So finally, I think the timing was right, and so I came down here this weekend to work with Tom in his workshop, and I have to say I was extremely pleased with it because Tom really does encourage people to come from a different kind of place as they create, and he does so in such a way that people really can just feel productive in their output, not judgmental about what comes out, and they can just get their own balls rolling, so to speak. So, in the course of about, I guess, 48, 72 hours, I wrote about 43,000 words. I'm sure a lot of that was probably repetitive and nonsensical, but that's okay because I'm not going to judge it. It just is what came out, and I'm very happy about that. And I'll have plenty of time to look it over and evaluate the writing that did come out. So briefly, my book is about the brain, but it takes a very different approach to the brain because I think that it's important for us all to not rely on strictly confirmed and fully scientifically validated understandings about the brain to be able to nonetheless appreciate it. Stated otherwise, if you walk into a bookstore, many books about the brain will be written by extremely intelligent but scientifically oriented people who will tell you something about the brain, but you'll walk away from that book just feeling like your head got filled with the Encyclopedia Britannica and you don't really kind of know what the implications of all that are for you. And I think that there is a much more user-friendly way to think about the brain that can actually be very helpful for them. And specifically, I think there's a way for us to think about the brain in such a way that we can actually trust our brains, that we can actually look to our brain as a source of guidance. It's kind of like, you hear your mother and father's, your grandmother's wisdom. It's coming from you, son. It's all from inside you. That's where it needs to come from. Don't look to the outside world. Well, to put that in brain terms, it's coming from your brain. It's coming from your ability to use your brain well and to not let your brain have come from programs related to trauma or conditioning and so on and so forth. So again, this book I hope will help people to just gain that overall easy understanding of the brain and that confidence in their brain that they can really use it to make a better and happier life for themselves. So thanks, Rama. Rama, you were great. Thanks, Tom. Tom was a great workshop, and I hope others will be inspired to come and really enjoy this whole process. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, son.